We are back in New York with a unique and highly sought after food truck, Struggletown BBQ. Inspired by trips through the South as a child and time spent on the competition barbecue circuit as an adult, Pitmaster John Leonard brings his passion for the most traditional style of all American food to your home for your next party or event. We join owner and operator John Leonard along with his son Jake and get behind the scenes to cook up some meals and show you exactly how they do it. I'm James Webster. This is Owners and Operators. John, Jake, thank you guys for having us here today. Owners and Operators likes to take a little bit of an inside dive into the businesses and to see how businesses operate, more than just speaking to business owners face to face or giving an interview as we've all seen. Give us a 30,000-foot view of Struggletown and what you guys do here and who you are.
Yeah. I like to say that this business is like a backyard hobby gone wild. You know, it's like I, like a lot of people, started just grilling and barbecuing in the backyard, and it turned into a hobby and that I was really into. And then years ago, we started competing just for fun in these barbecue competitions, my brother-in-law and I. And then that kind of led to family saying, hey, can you make me a brisket? And then that kind of led to a friend of a friend, and it just kind of took off. And it's great because we're on wheels, you know, so I don't have to worry about people finding us and coming to us. We can go where the customers are.
Big enough event you can go to.
Yeah. So do either roadside some days, events some days. We do private catering. We pull this thing up to somebody's driveway and set it up. And so graduation parties, birthday parties, anniversaries. We're even starting to do some weddings. We do corporate events where we go into the businesses and set up in the parking lot, and all the employees come out and eat barbecue. So
that's great.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, at its essence, we do barbecue, you know,
awesome.
and we bring it to everybody.
Talk to me a little bit about the crew or what you guys are doing during the day, prepping. Then you guys are on for lunch, or you know, how does the whole process work?
We are the crew.
Yeah, we are the crew. As of now, it's just pretty much us. We have family, you know, my mom, my girlfriend, my brother. They'll hop on the truck here and there. My girlfriend, she helps out with a lot of like emails and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as being on the truck, I mean, it's pretty much us.
Gotcha.
So we're off the road Monday, Tuesday. So that's our days of like prepping, shopping, catching up on emails and stuff. And then when we're on the road, so it's pretty much just us, you know, Wednesday through Sunday. And you know, I'll have that's what we call like the night shift. So I'll come up here, you know, around like 9:30, 10 o'clock, throw the meat on, and then I mean at that time he's already in bed. So then he gets up at
and that's 5, in preparation 6. For the next day.
And I have the morning shift, which starts around 5 in the morning. So he puts the big meats on, which are your briskets and pork butts, sure. and they go through the night. And then I come in around 5 or 6 in the morning, and I'll check them, and we wrap them and do things, and then I'll get going on the smaller meats like the ribs and the chicken.
Got it.
So that's kind of our night guy, morning guy, and then I pick him up about 9, 10 in the morning. And we do a finishing touches on what we're doing and head off to where we're going, and then open till typically about 6 o'clock, and we go back to the yard, clean up, and start the cycle over.
Got it. So you wrap up around 6 o'clock?
Yeah, our typical day we've been doing is 12 to 6,
okay.
Unless we're doing an event or something. But sure. our normal like roadside vending is noon to 6.
Talk to me about the catering. So if somebody wants to, I want to have you guys at a 200-person event at the at our corporate event that we're having. Walk us through how that works.
We like to say, send us some information about your event. How many people? What type? Go to our website. Look at our menu. Tell me what type of food you want. I don't need numbers yet. Just what do you want? I want brisket. I want ribs. I want mac and cheese. Whatever it is. So how many people you can have, what types of food you have, and then tell me about the people, because that's a big thing too. Is it a corporate event, all adults? Is it a kid's birthday party where they have kids? Are we feeding a football team or are we feeding a book club?
Yeah.
You know,
Big
so get a
difference.
feel for the people, and then we will work on based on the food they're looking for and the number of people. We'll come up with, okay, I think you're going to need 3 trays of this and 2 trays of that. And then I always come up with a proposed menu and send it to them and say, this is just a proposal. If you want to add to it or take away, feel free. But you know, in my experience, I think you're good with this. I often find people are nervous about running out of food. So a lot of times, whatever I suggest, they say, give me another pan, or you know. But I mean, that's kind of how we try to do it.
It's a big fear of mine too.
Yeah.
Running out of food mid-party.
Exactly. So the good thing is this stuff makes really great leftovers. So, and I tell them that if you want extra, by all means, you know, because you'll be eating it all week. So
It's not going to go bad.
yeah, yeah.
Talk to me about the vision of the business. Has that changed from when you started to at least where you now see it going?
You know, things don't always work out how you expect.
Very
you
true.
know, maybe something that we thought would have been better ends up, you know, not being something we want to do. So, you know, we do have the route of sticking with the trucks and, you know, maybe getting another truck. We could go out and get a restaurant. I think the biggest thing is just feeling it out. And, you know, when the time comes, we'll make that decision.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, we've kind of swung back and forth between, do we want to get another truck? Do we want to just get a spot? I mean, obviously there's pros and cons to both. Whereas, you know, getting another truck, we'd own it, opposed to renting out a spot.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess like we're saying, it really comes down to when that time does come.
Yeah.
It's funny you say like what's changed from the beginning to now with our plans. It seems like every month we need to do this next. No, hold up, we should do that next. And in the end, we're not doing anything right now until that kind of gels, because you know there's a lot of ways we definitely want growth, and it really comes about sort of building a brand. Again, going back to that unique name, Struggletown, but building a brand that can do more than just the trucks, but still around kind of the barbecue theme, but you know, retail, getting into sauces and rubs, merchandise, things like that. Even canning and jarring, you know, we make a really mean barbecue bean, like stuff like that.
Do you guys
unique
create
stuff.
your own rubs and
Yeah,
spices,
everything's our own recipes. Wow. Yeah, so it's really just you know, but ultimately, I think it's some kind of combination of multiple trucks, a central commissary that could serve potentially as a retail or restaurant, but you know, so sort of retail out the front door, catering, and the trucks out the back door, and then pulling in some type of retail, you know, merchandising stores, getting stuff on the shelves, and franchising is always a possibility. Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge you guys think you faced as business owners?
What we make here, we haven't invented a widget that now we can just replicate. All right, we have to be on every single day. So, and that's the business we chose. You know, so we could be nailing it today, and I got to start all over again tomorrow. So the type of business we're in making food, and in particular in this type of food, I find that to be the biggest challenge, that we can't ever hit cruise control. Like we've got to do it exactly right every single day. And of course, also with food, you know, you've got the challenges of the health department and inspections and things like that. You gotta do stuff the right way. These people are eating your product, so you got to be careful.
What keeps you guys up at night?
I mean, you know, you can't win everything. So, and like going back to the challenges, there's a lot of things that, you know, I'm doing for the first time. I've worked in restaurants before, never owned one though. So there's a lot of things that you can't get right on the first time. So, you know, that will bother you, or you don't have the answers right away.
Sure.
You know, and I have a kind of a very specific thing that keeps me up at night, and it has right from the beginning. And when I cater giant meals, anything, when I do catering, when I'm serving food out the window, it's immediate response, and we're talking to them and all that. And then usually, you know, they talk, they're repeat customers. But when we do a drop off of catering, I'm typically miserable for the next 2 days. And I will lay there at night thinking about, did it all go right? And going back to what we said earlier about having to be right every single time and, you know, replicate that every single time. So I've always had this where I'll start going back over every tray that went out in that catering order. Man, those ribs weren't quite right. You know, the brisket today. And we're very blessed that most of our customers will shoot us a note a day or two later. Oh my God, the food was amazing. You know, it was the talk of the party. And it's only then that I exhale. Like, okay.
Well, you guys are doing something right. What's a piece of advice you can give a business owner or somebody that's looking to get into business, either in what you guys are doing here, a food truck, or just in business in general?
What I've seen is, there's a lot of tools that we have access to that don't necessarily cost money. So, I mean, like we're saying, it's going to take a little bit before we can expand. But you can still build up your Instagram.
Sure.
You can still network, within your local community. So there's other ways to grow that don't necessarily cost money. And I think that's something that we've, that's helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I think if you want to own your own business, remember, there's nobody to go to say, hey, something went wrong, I need help. Like, you're the guy. So whether it's a plumbing issue, an issue with a creditor, a customer complaint, the power goes out, you got a flat tire, so all of a sudden you need to be that jack of all trades. Again, another really good thing about we're good at different things. So, he's actually got his toolbox, and he's become the Struggletown mechanic. But it's just everything under the sun that can happen. And when you're the owner, it's you.
What's next for Struggletown? We've kind of talked about it throughout, but if what's kind of that next step? Hey, this is when the time's right. This is what we're doing.
I think, like we were talking about truck versus restaurant, I think we are starting to lean a little more on another truck.
Yeah.
I think it's just more realistic for what we're doing. If we get another one of these, it's going to mirror what we already have. So it'll be easier to train more people. It'll just be easier to operate for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think truck number 2 is definitely our next step. And then further down the road is getting into some real estate, maybe an actual brick and mortar location, all that. But I'd love to see a truck in this area, something on the South Shore, ultimately something out east, something in Nassau. I've always had it in my mind that I think we could support 4 barbecue trucks, and sort of in that North Shore, South Shore, out east, and Nassau. And I'd love to have it where, one day you got a truck at an event and the other truck is on the road, and you're doing private party, just to have that flexibility to move it around. Just who doesn't love barbecue? Like, it works, it sells anywhere. So,
I'm all about it. Thanks for joining us today at Struggletown BBQ. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and look forward to bringing you inside more interesting businesses like Struggletown. So be sure to punch that subscribe button and follow us so you do not miss out. And if you're interested in having owners and operators showcase your business, please comment below and we'll be in touch.